Mogul Motivation, educating and empowering entrepreneurs 1 week at a time. Presented by True Stories Media. And I am your host, Antoine Twiz Taylor. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mogul Motivation. Welcome back. I'm happy that you are here. If this is your first time listening, this podcast is for the aspiring entrepreneur who is trying to get over that hump and make things happen. This podcast is for anybody with a dream that wants to aspire higher and accomplish that dream. I don't ask for any money. I only ask for two things. Number one, please leave me a review. If you like anything about this show, let me know what you love about it and let me know what you would like to hear in future episodes on this show. And number two, please pass it on to somebody in your network that may benefit from it as well. This week we're going to talk about hustling, and hustling has such a negative connotation attached to it depending on who you talk to. But nevertheless, hustling has a very rich history in the Black community and the entrepreneurial community. Hustlers is, what makes this world go. Hustlers don't do it because, they want to. Hustlers do it because that's the only way that they can do it. When you conceive an idea in your head as an entrepreneur, you begin to try to make money off of that idea in unconventional ways, unregulated ways. That's just what it is. Every entrepreneur, for the most part, has started out as a hustler. I started out as a hustler when I started taking pictures. Every entrepreneur starts out as a hustler just to generate income for themselves, just to get by day by day. What we have to understand is any transaction, whether it be legal or illegal, and I don't encourage the illegal portion, but nevertheless, any transaction leads to a business. That's the beginning of a business. Whenever you make a transaction for something, that is the beginning of a business. We have to understand that. And, some people are content with being hustlers. And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people are content with that. Some people, that's what they want to do. But for some of us, we want to become the titans of our industry. We want to become somebody of great magnitude. And if in order to do that, we have to go from hustling to business. And how do we do that? The difference between hustlers and business is simple. Businesses have regulated policies. Businesses have values. Businesses have team members. Businesses grow. Hustlers don't grow. Yeah, you might be able to make more money hustling, but nevertheless, you're still a hustler. And again, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But for those of you who want to elevate, who want to become millionaires and billionaires, you can't be a hustler. It's impossible. Hustling is going to put food on your table and get you by day, but hustling isn't going to make you a millionaire. Hustling isn't going to make you a billionaire. One of the biggest myths in business that I was told by a very rich millionaire that I met here in Chicago, he told me this a couple years ago. He said one of the biggest myths is we have to always grind it out. We have to always put our all into it. That's true to an extent, but what he was saying is we don't have to hustle forever. If you want your business to grow and elevate, it's very crucial that you bring in people around you to grow that business. And once you do that, now you focus on your specific task. Now you focus on your specific lane while others focus on their lanes, and it's all for the betterment of the business. We have to get away from hustling and grinding too much, ladies and gentlemen, because what we're going to do is we're going to burn ourselves out when we do that. We're not going to go for it. We're going to burn ourselves out. Stop the hustling right now and start doing business. And in order to do business, what you do is you have to learn how to sell. And I know that word puts you out of your comfort zone because it makes a lot of introverts nervous because you don't want to go out there and tell people what you do and how you do it. But nevertheless, you have to learn how to sell. That's one of the first steps. I'm not going to necessarily put them in order, but that's one of the first steps. Learn how to sell your product. Continue to perfect your product or service. You have to know it inside out. When you know your product or your service inside out, there's nothing nobody can do to stump you on that. And it's going to make it easier for you to sell because when you sell, you're basically just talking about your product or your service. You don't have to have this elaborate pitch and all of that. The pitch and all of those things are already embedded in you because you know what you do. You have to learn how to sell. How do you get in front of your customers? Once you do that, now you're building your business plan. You're building your value system, right? Because your business has to stand for something. Your mission has to be in that statement. So now you're building your business plan on paper and you're living it out in person. Then after that, that's when you start to survey who can you bring on your team? Who will benefit you? This is what you have to do. These are some steps that you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, to go from hustling to business. Hustling is going to put food on your table. Hustling is going to get you to pay your bills from time to time, but a business is going to sustain you. Try to see how you can cut all the grass in your neighborhood, then move to other neighborhoods. Then you bring on different crews to cut more grass. That's a business. Just cutting a few lawns from time to time for $20, that's just hustling. Don't be content with just doing nails and doing hair. Figure out how you can open up your own salon and bring on other hairstylists and people in the cosmetology industry. And then don't just stop there. Figure out how you can open up another salon elsewhere and elsewhere. These are businesses. These aren't just hustles anymore. That's what we have to shift our mind to if we want to become people of great value. If we want to become millionaires and billionaires, we have to go from hustling to business. It's not going to be overnight, but you have to make that choice. And then you have to start taking it more serious. Because once you take yourself more serious, once you take what you do more serious, people are going to take you serious. Yeah, of course, you're still going to have people that's going to have negative things to say about you. That's always going to happen. But ignore the trolls. Nevertheless, for the most part, 90% of the time, people are going to take you serious. Once you take pride in what you do, and once you treat what you do as high-class service and products. That's just a fact. Hustlers, don't look down on hustlers. We all start out as hustlers, but we can't stay there if we want to do something great. If we want to go to new heights, we can't remain as hustlers. So that's my message this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let's continue to work. Let's continue to imagine reality. And don't burn yourself out just hustling and grinding forever. Figure out how can you take this hustle to a business, to a multi-million, multi-billion-dollar business. That's your job today. That's your homework. Have a great day. I'll talk to you next week.